Pain is not your enemy, it's your turning point. The moments that break you are the ones that build you. What if everything you've been through was preparing you? What if your deepest pain is the beginning of your greatest power? There comes a moment in life when everything feels heavy, when you feel stuck, lost, and overwhelmed by things you can't control. In that silence, pain speaks louder than anything else. But what if that pain isn't here to destroy you? What if it's here to awaken something inside you that you never knew existed? Today, we're not escaping pain, we're transforming it into power. Here are 5 powerful points how to turn your pain into power. Part 1. The moment pain hits you the hardest. There comes a moment in life when everything feels too heavy. A moment when you sit alone in silence and your thoughts are louder than anything around you. No music helps, no distractions work. No words from anyone seem to fix what you feel inside. And in that moment, it feels like the world is moving forward, but you're stuck. Stuck in confusion, stuck in pain, stuck in a place you never thought you would be. Maybe it was a failure you didn't expect. Maybe it was someone you trusted who walked away. Maybe it was a dream you gave everything to that still didn't work out. And now you're left with questions. Why me? What did I do wrong? Why does it hurt this much? You try to stay strong. You try to smile around others. You try to act like everything is okay, but deep down you know the truth. You're tired, tired of trying, tired of hoping. Tired of feeling like no matter what you do, it's never enough. And the hardest part, it's not always the pain people can see. It's the pain you carry quietly. The silent battles, the sleepless nights, the overthinking that never stops. It's lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything in your head, every mistake, every failure, every moment you wish you could change, and no one hears it, no one sees it, but you feel it every single day. Sometimes it feels like you're breaking on the inside piece by piece, and you don't even know how to explain it to anyone. Because how do you explain a feeling you don't fully understand yourself? How do you tell someone that you feel lost, even when everything around you looks normal? So you keep it in, you hold it together, you tell yourself, I'll be okay. But deep down, you're not okay. And that's real. That moment, right there, that feeling of being overwhelmed, broken, and alone, that's a moment almost everyone goes through, but no one really talks about it. We live in a world where people show their highlights, their success, their happiness, but they hide the pain. They hide the struggle. They hide the nights they cried themselves to sleep. So when you feel this way, you start to believe you're the only one. You start to believe something is wrong with you. But listen carefully, there is nothing wrong with you. You're human. And being human means feeling pain. It means going through moments that shake you, moments that break you, moments that make you question everything. Pain doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait until you're ready. It just shows up, unexpected, uninvited, unforgiving. And when it hits you the hardest, it can feel like everything is falling apart. Like the ground beneath you is gone. Like you're trying to hold on, but there's nothing to hold on to. And in those moments, you might feel weak. You might feel like giving up. You might feel like you've reached your limit. And maybe you have. Maybe you've reached a point where you don't know how to keep going. But let me tell you something real. This moment, this exact moment you're in, this pain you feel, it matters. Not because it's easy, not because it's fair, but because it's real. And too often people try to ignore it. They try to rush past it. They try to pretend it doesn't exist. But pain doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. It stays, it builds, it waits until you finally face it. And right now, you're in that moment. The moment where everything feels heavy. The moment where you don't have all the answers. The moment where you feel like you're at your lowest. And I want you to know something. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to not have everything figured out. It's okay to feel lost. Because sometimes, before you find yourself, you have to go through a moment where you feel completely lost. And maybe that's where you are right now. Lost, confused, hurt, tired, but still here. Still breathing, still holding on even if it's just barely. And that matters more than you think. Because even in your weakest moment, there's a part of you that hasn't given up yet. A small voice inside you that's still fighting. Even when you feel like you can't, even when you feel like you're done, there's something in you that keeps going. And maybe you don't see it as strength. Maybe you don't feel strong right now. But the fact that you're still here, still standing, still trying, that is strength, even if it doesn't feel like it. So if you're in that moment right now, if you're feeling broken, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like life is just too much, I want you to understand this. You are not alone. You are not the only one who has felt this, and you are not the only one who will rise from it. But right now, you don't need to rush. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to pretend to be strong. Right now, it's okay to just feel, to sit with the pain, to acknowledge it, to say, this hurts, because it does. And that's where your journey begins. Not when everything is perfect, not when everything is easy, but right here, in the moment when pain hits you the hardest. This is where your story starts to change. Part 2, accept the pain instead of running from it. Now that you face that moment, that heavy, overwhelming feeling, there's something most people do next. They run, they distract themselves, they bury the pain, they pretend it doesn't exist, they scroll endlessly, they stay busy all the time, they laugh on the outside, but inside. The pain is still there, unspoken, unhealed, waiting. Because here's the truth, pain doesn't go away just because you ignore it. It doesn't disappear because you hide it. It grows, silently, slowly, deep inside you. And the more you run from it, the more control it has over your life. You see, most people are not taught how to deal with pain. They're taught to be strong, to move on, to get over it. But no one teaches you how to sit with it. No one teaches you how to understand it. So you do what feels natural, you avoid it, because it hurts. Because facing it means being vulnerable. Because facing it means admitting that something inside you is broken. But listen to this carefully. Ignoring your pain doesn't make you strong. Facing it does. Real strength is not pretending everything is okay. Real strength is looking at your pain and saying, this is real and I'm not going to run from it anymore. That takes courage. That takes honesty. That takes power. Because the moment you stop running is the moment you start healing. Think about it. Every time you push your pain away, it finds another way to come back. In your thoughts, in your emotions, in your reactions, it shows up when you least expect it. And suddenly, you're not just dealing with today's pain. You're carrying everything you never dealt with before. That's why it feels so heavy. Because it's not just one moment, it's everything you've been avoiding. So what do? You face it, not all at once, not perfectly, but honestly. You sit with yourself, in silence. No distractions, no pretending, just you and your truth. And maybe that truth is messy. Maybe it's painful. Maybe it's full of things you wish never happened. But it's yours. And the only way forward is through it. You don't heal by running away. You heal by understanding. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling? What is this pain trying to tell me? What have I been avoiding? And don't rush the answers. Let them come. Because pain is not just suffering, it's communication. It's your mind and your heart trying to tell you something matters. Something needs attention. Something needs healing. But if you keep running, you'll never hear the message. And here's something even deeper. Accepting your pain doesn't mean you like it. It doesn't mean you wanted it. It doesn't mean it's fair. It means you stop fighting reality. It means you stop saying, this shouldn't have happened. And instead you say, this did happen and I'm going to face it. That shift, that small shift, changes everything. Because when you stop resisting pain, you stop giving it power over you. You take that power back. You stop being a victim of your experience and you become someone who is aware of it. Someone who is growing through it. But let's be real, this is not easy. There will be moments when you want to run again. Moments when it feels too much. Moments when you'd rather distract yourself than sit in discomfort. And that's okay. You're human. But every time you choose to face your pain, even a little, you get stronger. Every time you say, "I'm not going to ignore this anymore," you take a step toward healing. And healing is not a straight path. Some days you'll feel better. Some days it will hit you all over again. Some days you'll feel like you're making progress, and then suddenly you feel like you're back at the beginning. But you're not, because now you're aware. Now you're facing it. And that makes all the difference. Let me tell you something powerful. Your pain is not your enemy. Running from it makes it feel like one. But in truth, it's a part of your story. A part of your growth. A part of your transformation. And the moment you accept it, it stops controlling you. You begin to understand it. You begin to learn from it. You begin to grow through it. So instead of asking, "How do I get rid of this pain?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of saying, "I don't want to feel this," say, "I'm ready to understand this." That is where your power begins. Right there in acceptance, not in perfection, not in pretending, but in honesty, in courage, in truth. So if you're feeling pain right now, don't run, don't hide, don't pretend, sit with it, feel it. Understand it, because the moment you stop running from your pain is the moment you start turning it into power. Part 3, realize pain has a purpose. You felt the pain. You've stopped running from it, you faced it. Now comes the moment that changes everything. The moment you begin to ask a different question. Not "Why is this happening to me?" but "What is this trying to teach me?" Because here's the truth most people never realize. Pain is not just something you go through. It's something that works on you. It shapes you. It tests you. It reveals parts of you that comfort never could. Think about it. Who were you before the pain? Before the struggle, before the disappointment, before life didn't go your way? You were comfortable, maybe even confident, but comfort doesn't build strength. Struggle does. Pain does. Because pain forces you to grow. It forces you to see things differently. It forces you to become someone stronger than you ever needed to be before. And yes, it hurts. It hurts because it's changing you. Just like pressure creates diamonds, pain creates depth, strength, wisdom. There are lessons in your pain you could never learn any other way. Lessons about people. Lessons about trust. Lessons about yourself. You learn who's really there for you. You learn what truly matters. You learn what you're capable of when everything feels like it's falling apart. And maybe right now, it doesn't feel like a lesson. It just feels like suffering, but give it time. One day you'll look back at this moment and you'll see something different. You won't just see the pain, you'll see the growth. You'll see how it changed you, how it strengthened you, how it prepared you for something greater. Because sometimes, the hardest moments in your life are preparing you for the strongest version of yourself. Let that sink in. What if this pain is not here to break you, but to build you? What if this struggle is not here to stop you, but to redirect you? What if everything you're going through right now is shaping you for something you can't see yet? Because that's how life works. It doesn't always make sense in the moment. It doesn't always feel fair, but it always leaves something behind, a lesson, a strength, a piece of wisdom, and that wisdom becomes your power. But only if you're willing to see it, only if you're willing to learn. Because two people can go through the same pain and one becomes stronger while the other stays stuck. What's the difference? Perspective. One asks, "Why me?" The other asks, "What now?" One focuses on the loss, the other focuses on the lesson. And that shift changes everything. So let me ask you, what is your pain teaching you right now? Is it teaching you patience? Is it teaching you resilience? Is it teaching you to let go of what no longer serves you? Or maybe it's teaching you how strong you really are. Because strength is not built when everything is easy. It's built in the moments when you feel like giving up, but you don't. When you feel broken, but you keep going. When you feel lost, but you keep searching. That's where growth happens. That's where transformation begins. And yes, You didn't choose this pain. You didn't ask for it, but now that it's here, you have a choice. You can let it destroy you, or you can let it define you, not as a victim, but as someone who overcame, someone who learned, someone who grew, because your story is still being written. And this chapter, this painful, difficult chapter, it's not the end. It's the part of the story where everything begins to change. It's the part where you discover who you really are, where you realize what you're truly capable of, where you stop seeing yourself as weak and start seeing yourself as someone who has survived things that could have broken you. And that realization, that awareness, that is power. So don't waste your pain. Don't go through it and come out the same. Grow from it, learn from it. Let it shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more aware. Because one day your pain will become your strength. Your struggle will become your story, and your story will inspire someone else to keep going. Think about that. The thing that hurts you today could be the reason someone else finds hope tomorrow. That's purpose. That's power. So the next time pain shows up in your life, don't just ask, "Why is this happening?" Ask, "What is this preparing me for?" Because there is something on the other side of this. Growth, strength, clarity, a version of you that you haven't met yet. And that version of you is stronger than this pain, wiser than this moment, greater than this struggle. So trust the process, even when it hurts, even when it doesn't make sense. Because pain, when understood, when accepted, when learned from, becomes power. Part 4, use pain as fuel, not an excuse. Now you understand your pain, you've faced it, you've accepted it, you've learned from it. But now comes the most important question: what are you going to do with it? Because pain by itself changes nothing. You can go through pain and stay stuck. You can go through pain and let it define you in the worst way. Or you can go through pain and use it. Use it as fuel. Use it as energy. Use it as the very thing that pushes you forward when everything inside you says stop. Because here's the truth: pain can either be your excuse or your reason. Your excuse to quit. Your excuse to stay small. Your excuse to say, "I can't do this because of what I've been through." Or your reason to rise. Your reason to prove something to yourself. Your reason to become someone stronger than your circumstances. But you don't get both. You don't get to use pain as an excuse and expect a powerful life at the same time. At some point, you have to decide. Are you going to let your past control you, or are you going to use it to build your future? Because no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to fix everything. No one is coming to hand you the life you want. And that might sound harsh, but it's also powerful, because it means it's in your hands, your life, your choices, your next step. And yes, you've been hurt. Yes, you've been through things that weren't fair, things that broke you, things that slowed you down, but those things don't have to stop you. They can push you, if you let them. Think about this. Every time you feel that pain, every time you remember what you went through, you feel something inside you. Anger, frustration, hurt. That energy, that intensity, that feeling, it's powerful. And most people waste it. They turn it into complaining. They turn it into excuses. They turn it into reasons why they can't move forward. But what if you did something different? What if you took that same energy and turned it into action? What if instead of saying, "This is why I can't," you said, "This is exactly why I must"? That shift, that mindset changes everything. Because now your pain is no longer holding you back. It's pushing you forward, it's waking you up early, it's keeping you focused, it's reminding you why you can't afford to give up. Your pain becomes your fire, and fire can destroy or it can build. It can burn everything down or it can forge something stronger. And right now, you have that fire inside you, but you have to choose what to do with it. You have to choose discipline over comfort. You have to choose action over excuses. You have to choose growth, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Because this is where most people fail, not because they don't have potential, not because they don't have dreams, but because they let their pain stop them. They wait to feel better. They wait to feel motivated. They wait for the perfect moment. But that moment never comes. Because growth doesn't happen when you feel ready. It happens when you decide to move forward anyway, even when you're tired, even when you're hurting, even when you don't feel like it. That's power. That's discipline. That's what separates those who stay stuck from those who rise. So let me ask you again, what are you going to do with your pain? Are you going to sit in it? Or are you going to rise with it? Because every single day you have a choice. You can wake up and let your past define your limits, or you can wake up and use it as a reminder of why you need to keep going, why you need to push harder, why you need to become better. Not for anyone else, but for you, for the person you're becoming, for the life you know you deserve. And understand this, using pain as fuel doesn't mean you ignore it. It doesn't mean you pretend it's not there. It means you take everything you've been through and you refuse to let it be wasted. You turn your struggle into strength, your frustration into focus, your setbacks into setups, because nothing you've been through is meaningless. Every moment, every lesson, every scar, it all has value, but only if you use it. Only if you turn it into something greater. So stop waiting, stop doubting, stop telling yourself that you're not ready. You don't need to be ready. You just need to start. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start even if it's small, because small steps taken consistently become powerful results. And every step you take forward, no matter how small, is proof that your pain is not controlling you anymore. You're controlling it. You're turning it into power. You're turning it into progress. And that is how you change your life. Not overnight, not instantly, but day by day, choice by choice, action by action. Until one day, you look back and realize the pain that once held you back is the very reason you became unstoppable. Part 5, Rise Stronger and Rewrite Your Story. You've been through the pain, you've faced it, you've accepted it, you've learned from it. You've used it as fuel. Now it's time to rise. Not as the same person you were before, but as someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who has been tested and didn't break. Because here's the truth, you are not your past, you are not your mistakes, you are not the pain you went through. You are the person who survived it, and survival is not weakness. It's proof of strength. Think about everything you've been through, all the moments that could have destroyed you, all the times you felt like giving up, all the nights you thought you wouldn't make it through, and yet you're still here, still standing, still breathing. That means something. That means there's something inside you that refuses to quit, something inside you that refuses to be defeated. And now, it's time to step into that strength, because your story is not over. In fact, this is where it begins. This is the chapter where you stop looking back and start moving forward, where you stop seeing yourself as broken and start seeing yourself as rebuilt, stronger, wiser, unstoppable. But here's the thing, rising doesn't happen automatically. You have to choose it every single day. You have to choose to let go of the version of you that was stuck in pain. You have to choose to believe that your future can be different, that your life can be better, that you are capable of more than what you've experienced so far. Because if you keep holding on to your old story, the story of failure, of hurt, of limitation, you'll stay there. You'll stay trapped in a version of yourself that no longer serves you. But the moment you decide to rewrite that story, everything changes. Because now, you're not just someone who went through pain. You're someone who overcame it. You're not just someone who struggled. You're someone who grew stronger because of it. That's your new story. And you get to write it. Not your past, not other people, not your circumstances. You. So what does your next chapter look like? Does it look like fear? Or does it look like courage? Does it look like doubt? Or does it look like belief? Does it look like staying the same? Or does it look like growth? Because every choice you make now is writing that story. Every action you take is shaping the person you become. And yes, there will still be challenges. There will still be moments where it feels hard. But now you're different. Now you understand your strength. Now you know what you're capable of. Because you've already been through the hardest parts, you've already faced the pain, and you didn't quit. So why would you quit now? This is your time, your moment. Your chance to become the person you were always meant to be. Not perfect, not without scars, but stronger because of them. Because those scars, they are not something to hide. They are proof. Proof that you fought, proof that you survived, proof that you kept going when it would have been easier to stop. And one day, those scars will become your story, a story that inspires others. A story that shows people that no matter how hard life gets, you can rise, you can rebuild, you can come back stronger, but it starts with a decision, right here, right now. The decision to stop looking at your past as something that limits you and start seeing it as something that prepared you for this moment, prepared you for this growth, prepared you for this next level of your life. Because everything you went through, every struggle, every setback, every painful moment, it didn't happen for nothing. It built you. It shaped you. It made you stronger. And now, it's time to show that strength. It's time to step forward with confidence, with belief, with purpose. Because the world doesn't need the version of you that gave up. It needs the version of you that kept going. The version of you that refused to stay down. The version of you that turned pain into power. So rise. Rise above your past. Rise above your doubts. Rise above everything that once tried to hold you back. And step into the person you are becoming. Because that person is stronger than the pain, greater than the struggle, and capable of more than you can even imagine right now. This is your story, and it's not ending in pain. It's rising in power. Your pain has already shaped you. Now let it strengthen you. Don't let it sit inside you as a wound. Turn it into fuel, into focus, into fire. Every scar you carry is proof that you survived what once tried to break you. And from this moment on, you don't move as someone defeated. You move as someone rising. Because the same pain that tested you will be the power that defines you.